Welcome back to another video. In this lesson, we're going to look at a QMX or QMC, as the Malaysian traders call it. A lot of these setups come from Malaysian SNR that I had learned from a very profitable trader, but a lot of it has our own context to it, so just so you guys know that. Anyways, QMX is my favorite setup. It's one that I'll take with, pretty decent lot sizes, pretty decent risk, because it's a high probability trade, right? So what is a QMX? So a QMX is you're going to have a high, and then you're going to have a QM in the middle, and that right shoulder, when it comes, that'll be your third tap of a trend line. Okay, so that is your entry signal. Now, all the things that come from the regular QM, and this is why I teach the QM first, is because those confluences on the QM, such as how we adjust our stop loss based on our SL size, right? So if the head is too far away from the shoulder, we can use the wick. Also, if there is the supply candle here in line with the left shoulder, then it's adding more confluence to the trade. Okay, so we're always catching that third wave on the QMX, and we call it QMX because these lines converge, right? So you have your resistance and your trend line resistance, right? So basically this resistance is made and then stopped out, right? And then pulled back, and then we're anticipating that same level of resistance right here to be respected in line with our trend line. Okay, now this can happen many different ways. You can have a QM here break down, and then another QM break down. So it doesn't just have to be a high, right? So this high is here, and then we have a QM in the middle. It could be a QM here, a QM in the middle, and then you take the shoulder. The point is you're able to draw a trend line and anticipate where that next price movement is based on everything lining up properly. Okay, so again, the trend lines aren't meant to be perfect. They are subjective, okay? The trend line here is just to give you a guide, okay? So there's no real proper way to draw a trend line. You can just line it up however you want. It's just giving you context of direction of the market. So when we have a QMX, this is a continuation move. We should already see the trend starting to drop and transfer to the downside in this case, okay? So from here, we're taking QM X along the way to the downside. So this isn't a reversal play, okay? A QM is a reversal play because it has no other context. This here, we've already hit whatever top trend here. There could be QMs over here. We already have all that confirmation. This is a continuation play. We're looking for a continuation move of the QM, okay? So again, in this side where this angle is here, it can be just a peak like that, or there could be another QM here, and this is the follow-up QM. But remember, the head of the QM is always going to be the second tap of the trend line. Your third tap is always going to be your entry point, okay? So this is a QMX continuation move, okay? Again, I'm gonna teach you guys how to do all the confirmations in further lessons. For now, these are the setup models, okay? This is a model that we look for and we hunt for, okay? We hunt this particular setup in a continuation play. So if we see things starting to always trend or starting to begin a trend in a different direction or opposite direction, we're looking for continuations in that direction. So we would pull out the QMC or the QMX, whatever you want to call it, and try to play a continuation trade. Okay, so there's a rule in context for each setup model. So QMs, remember, is a reversal play high risk. This is a low risk strategy in a continuation of a trend because we are forming trend. Okay, we're in line with trend. All right, so let's look at a real life example here. Let me reshare my screen real quick. Okay, so we can see here, we have our initial point here, and then we form a QM, a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high, third tap, here's our entry point. Okay, right there on this line. See the head of the QM is formed right here on the second tap. Okay, 1, 2, 3, QM. Okay. Let's Let's look at a 1 hour chart. Okay, here's another QM. We have our initial trend line, 2, 3, in line with our QM. High, low, higher high, lower low, third tap inside the trend line, and drop. Okay, and as we see, these trend lines do get respected. So we don't know what happens here, obviously, but typically after the third tap, you're gonna see some sort of stop hunt against the trend. Okay, so if we get a continuation, then we could look for another QMC to the downside. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, this is obviously a bearish QMX where we're in a continuation of a trend. Okay, so we can see the trend is coming down and we form the QM at the top of this range. Now, again, we have to use other confluences such as timing, our market internals, and our higher time frame, whatever, but I'm just showing you our models, okay, and also timings. So yeah, I'm just showing you the models of how they look and how it is in a setup. So you may be looking at something and be like, okay, there's a QM here with the bottom of the range is a continuation. Should I be taking this QM or should I not? Should I avoid this QM? Okay. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys have questions, let me know. We're going to have another setup, obviously, tomorrow. I might do 2 tomorrow because I'm leaving to see my mother in Arizona on Friday. So I don't know if I'll have time to make another video. So I might do 2 tomorrow. So you'll have 2 setups. But first, we're going to get through the QM setup models because there's different types of QMs that you need to be aware of.